almost like telling everybody, okay, let's find our seats. Okay, everybody knows where their seat is. Everyone needs to find their own way to their seat. Find your way to your meditative space, however you get there. However you allow yourself to find it. Together in some simple breath, inspiration, expiration, inspiration, and expiration. In the stillness, we find our peace. meditative space, ponder the message. How much more present would you be if this were the last moment? What would be more or less important if you knew the moment of your passing was a moment away? What would you cherish more? What would you disregard more easily if you knew this was the last moment? If a lot of how you live your life would change, you are still addicted to mortality. You are still relying on the possibility of an ending to motivate you. How different would your life be if you were aware of the exact age and time that you were going to pass from this physical incarnation? How much time would you cease to spend caught up in things that, upon knowing that moment, would immediately become unimportant, irrelevant? How much more would you appreciate what you have or what you were being given if you knew its moments were limited? Inspiration, expiration. I remind you of all the reasons for a space of mortality. It is a magnificent teacher of just what I said. But I am not here to teach you how to live mortally. Teachings of the practice will help you get the most out of immortal consciousness, but they are truly in this world to usher you into your immortal consciousness, to your eternal life, where you are no longer motivated by the end of something. You are motivated by the presence of something. The ongoing, ever-present, conscious field that you are a part of. You are not waiting for an invitation, for you are already invited. You are not waiting for permission, because your existence is all the permission you need. You are not waiting for someone to tell you, because you already know what's best. And to the extent you know that, you are practicing. You are not waiting to value a moment because you know your moments are coming to an end. You are valuing every moment because it is what is best. The moments in time that give you a wonderful insight on where you are in your space of mortality or immortality is moments of loss, change, death. It is in those moments and experiences that you find your sincere orientation with one, the other, or both of those experiences. We can experience that moment of truth in every moment. But many are brought to an interface with those experiences through the process of death. Finality, as an experience, makes one very aware of either their mortality or their immortality. Once the illusion of finality fades from your reality, you are then faced with your eternity. How much different would your life be if you knew when it was going to end? It is the mystery of that moment, not out of fear, but out of curiosity and trust, that I embrace. It is the ever-present experience of change. Change is my eternal mother and father. It is change that gives birth and brings death to all that I am, all that I have ever been, and all that I will ever be. And I practice in peace. The signs of death are many when a person is willing to see them. Hints are given, signs are present, many times disregarded because it isn't what we want. We don't want to see something coming to an end. We like to see things beginning. We're comfortable with beginnings. Comfortable with birth. It is endings that we struggle with because of our impression of them, the mortal experience that's imprinted itself on them. We feel very comfortable saying, oh, congratulations on the birth of your child, but we don't feel comfortable saying congratulations on the passing of your mother. Whether it was expected or unexpected, you feel a sensitivity and an obligation to tread lightly in that moment. Have compassion for this. But we must not take our audience too much into consideration, but to the point where we betray our own space of consciousness. We can be compassionate, polite, yet true to ourselves. Inspiration and expiration. In May of 2016, the journey was began in this room. It was a journey to begin implementing and practicing the practice. To further grow and learn how the word could be spread, not by myself, but by all of us. I began in the very beginning of the classes telling you about the development of a nonprofit, livethepractice.org, and how I saw that as a vehicle to continue taking these teachings to a larger number of people. Time and energy is continuing to be put into this, and this seed is now beginning to grow. This plant will be able to reach many people. It will offer what we have experienced personally as a gift and make it available to anyone in the world who so desires or is ready to receive it. Time and resources, as in any garden, must be spent in what will give the greatest yield. Certain things that were once sustainable require a crop rotation. Certain crops must be planted and certain crops must no longer be planted, so that the time and attention can be given to the ones that are meant to grow now. We have cataloged an incredible experience full of miracles and evidence that the practice is indeed the truth. It is a way, and it does yield predictable, consistent results, demonstrated not only in physical and emotional healings, but in transformation of people's lives. People becoming different people, going through conscious incarnation, and as a byproduct of that, healing from physical, mental, and emotional issues. We have demonstrated that in a group setting. And also demonstrated that in not just a lecture format, but in a class format, it can be taught. People can grasp it, and their lives can be changed because of it. In order to spend more time and energy focused on this, next class will be the final class for practicing the practice. Time, energy, and resources will be guided into developing all the online curriculum to support livethepractice.org. Sarah, Carla, and myself, as well as others, will need to dedicate time to moving that project in that direction. And as well, once that project is ready, I would ask that all of you who have benefited from this experience offer your experiences to the Library of Experiences so that others can grow from your experiences. Others' lives can be made easier and better because you're willing to share your experiences. As well, there'll be plenty of things to do in the volunteer front once the vehicle is ready. Plenty of help will always be needed. I'm very grateful for the experience we've had between May and March. And the classes that we have been a part of creating are available on the website. They are available for all of you to continue to learn and grow from. Any of you who have read the book once and think you've gotten everything the book has to offer, I have compassion for you. Any of you who have watched the classes or the lectures on the chapters and feel you've gotten all you can get from them, I have compassion for you. It's up to you to discover through watching them again what a misunderstanding that is. We will make available next week at final class, we'll make available an email list. All of you who do not wish to have your name on that email list, please email Sarah, and she will remove that list name from the email list, and we will distribute an email list so that you can all continue to be in contact with each other via email, as well as through the partnership page. There is a very strong possibility that we will continue to get together in the future, but it will be in no structured format based in time. It will be as life allows, and we'll be happy to email out everyone in enough notice so that we can meet continue to share. Inspiration. Expiration. There have been other small groups of the practice, started in different places. Jan has mentioned one. There's one in Canton that's been going. We encourage all of you to continue to do that in your own way, however you are guided. You have the tools, you have the message. It's within you. Continue to touch all the lives around you. The chamber has demonstrated what can happen when we come together with an intention. The healer is within all of you. I've taught you it comes from the meditative space. I'm grateful and thankful for everyone who has taken advantage of these classes. And I'm grateful for everyone who's contributed. As you live in the meditative space and you embrace immortality and you live in that way, it's very obvious when the season of something has come to an end. I ask that you allow yourselves to have whatever emotional response you need to have to hearing this. But in that emotional response, I ask that you trust that all is as it should be. That this isn't just a moment to experience a loss or a missed opportunity. It is a moment to realize that the reason things are changing is so that in a greater way, more lives, more life can be affected. Breathe in and out. I always told you guys in many lessons ago, trust the numbers. Not that it wasn't clear on a lot of other levels, but when you look at the numbers of people watching and people here, it's at least doubled to tripled people watching. So our goal will be to continue to grow that aspect. To transcend the need to be in the same space and the same time together physically. To open the net. To spread it wider and bigger. And to continue to teach people how to be empowered with the power that truly created them. And in allowing themselves to be transform the world around them, and bring to light a higher order, a higher power, and a greater light. I'm hoping that you're all realizing how differently you're hearing something like this in your meditative space. How much easier it is to receive information, change, possibly loss, sadness, trepidation. How much easier it is to receive change in a meditative space. Meditative spaces are not only the space where healing is most apparent, but not by surprise, it is also the best space to receive change. The resistance is minimal. Inspiration and expiration. What I would like the last class to be, and I'm asking everybody not just that shows up for it, but that is watching us and has watched us, I want the last class to be nothing more than a chance for everyone to give their testimonial about what they got most out of the class, what they experienced most out of the class, what they valued most out of the class, and what they'll remember the most, their favorite moment. And we're just going to celebrate. The last class is going to be about celebration. We're going to celebrate the death of this chapter of the practice. It's had so many chapters and so many rebirths. It is just an incredible example of conscious incarnation. And we're going to celebrate it by remembering all the happiness and the great things that we realized. And that's how our last class in this space will be. So I really would encourage everyone to not only, if you watch, fine, but if you know the people that watch, please encourage them to be here next week and to send in their comments, the testimonials, so that they're on the partnership page. And everyone that's here, you're all going to have the opportunity to just give your little bit back to the practicing the practice class. Inspiration and expiration. Feel the confidence and the certainty of the meditative field within you. And remember that as a part of this practice, we have left a trail from getting out of your own way, DVDs, CDs, the book, all the lectures on the book, all the classes on living it, all on the YouTube channel. There's so much there, should you choose to indulge. So much to harvest. Breathe in and out. Feel the energy of the conscious incarnation moving through you. Feel the ending of something and the beginning of something. Feel change. Feel it. With your senses. With your being. In the stillness, we really have a sense of the change. Be together as we always are, as we always will be, in this unified field. eternal purpose of the continual practice of living life fully and loving life unconditionally is to allow and then cultivate a life experience in which your own life, including what you consider yourself to be, slowly dies away. What remains is God energy, source. God energy manifests in an ever-changing form that is the new you. The new you is no longer governed by all the data from perceptual experience or by your unconscious. Neither is it any longer governed by the unconscious opinion of others or by the institutions they have created. The new you as a field of life is governed only by the law of the highest good based on unconditional love, acceptance, and peace, compassion, which is the true law. Life allows an infinite number of life forms to exist and evolve simultaneously. All have the perfect experience necessary for the evolution and transformation of unconsciousness into a higher field of relative consciousness. All happens in a state of complete order and harmony, whether we perceive it or not, even though we are beset with our constant ignorant resistance. Life is eternally patient beyond our comprehension. In order that we can observe and appreciate in nature is the nature of life. This order is not hidden but completely obvious and out in the open when we look at life with life's eye through intuitive knowing, through the eye of unconditional love, acceptance, and peace, through the eye of God. The purpose of life is nothing other than an eternal, choiceless surrender into an unconditionally loving relationship with the practice of life. Never again do you need to concern yourself with the outer influences of this world or try desperately to accommodate all its never-ending needs and desires. Nothing quenches your desire anymore except the practice of life. You've given up the endless attempts to find happiness in superficial temporal pleasure that cannot withstand the eternal test of life or provide any kind of peace. You dedicate yourself to living fully, loving life unconditionally for eternity. You've taken your hands off the steering wheel of life and you feel free. What anyone thinks about you or your practice of living and loving life is of no importance to you. The opinions of others are irrelevant. Your practice for yourself and for the highest good of everyone else in the space of unconditional love and gratitude. You practice for life itself, for the unconditional love of God to which you have vowed choiceless surrender for all eternity. It is all you need to know. The perceptual events of this world no longer control you or you them. They do not dictate who you will be, who you've been, or who you will become. You let everything go, release it, all in an act of choiceless surrender. You are in this world, but no longer of it. You live in an inner space full of peace. You are at peace with all possible outcomes of life. Each day you grow more peaceful with every opportunity life brings you. You encounter any one of an infinite number of possibilities with peace, joy, and trust. You realize that you are part of a mystery and you embrace mystery. You feel eternally grateful for the wisdom life bestows upon you. Your whole being is open to whatever life brings. You suppress nothing, yet your emotions and the emotions of others no longer control you. You are free to be and do whatever life asks. Free to serve life in whatever way you are instructed. Relatively speaking, you are undefined. You are everything and nothing at once. You are everything God asks of you. You are ready to serve the great master of all eternity and infinite potential. You are ready for miracles to come through you. You are limitless and unbounded. You are one with all those around you, those you are aware of, and those you are not. As a child incarnate, you are one with the universe for all eternity. Now it is enough for you to be present and prepared to love unconditionally. You no longer need to fix anyone or anything. As a result, you bring peace wherever you go. You no longer need to judge anything or anyone. Your only tool is unconditional love and acceptance for all parts of yourself and everyone else, and is enough. Compassion is the only state of being you will have available when you see others resisting life's divine order. Yet you won't blame them for getting in their own way. Feeling bad is no longer in the highest good, and feeling good is always a result of being balanced. Death is a momentary occurrence, and you love and embrace, allow and accept. As you let go of loved ones, you accept the truth that life and death happen every moment eternally. Karma fades into forgiveness, and forgiveness morphs into unconditional acceptance in the moment. Evil becomes obsolete because it's nothing more than unconsciousness and ignorance in disguise. You recognize them as an amazing opportunity for growth in conscious awareness and dependence on God's divine order and grace. Life becomes an opportunity to experience everything in a space of complete peace, love, and acceptance. In this place of deeper and deeper peace and surrender, you become the infinite, peaceful observer of God's divine order. You become a spectator to the greatest miracle of creation, life. Inspiration, expiration. I am full of gratitude and thanks for all beings who were a part of this, are a part of this, and contributed. I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. I wish all of you only the best. Go in peace and love, and bring blessings all around you. Open your eyes and see love all around you.
This would be a good time to tell my daffodils.
You're good.
There's a tradition in one of the countries I visited when I was young. When on your birthday, I'm overclocked. When on your birthday you don't receive gifts, you give. And so it started out that I was going to bring everybody a bunch of daffodils. This is very, very interesting timing. And I don't know if I can tell this now because I got here so close.
Oh no, do it. It's beautiful.
No, I'm going to do it. And the story in my head evolved to thanking you all for allowing me to bloom where I was planted. There's a middle school literature book, and the phrase in the book that goes over and over again is bloom where you're planted. And yesterday I was in the flotation tank, which is an experience in itself. And, you know, Keith, I came to a realization that half of the great ideas that I have in my head are coming from intuition. The one that came through is that bloom where you're planted is really about meditative space. It's about being in the space that you're in and blooming from there. And so I want everyone to take a daffodil. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And the funny thing is, I've been so afraid of meditation because I thought God's voice was going to come booming out, and it was my own voice. But it wasn't. It was my own voice, but it wasn't of me. And it was just like, wow, bloom where you're planted is meditative space. How cool is that? So take your daffodil and go bloom where you're planted.
Wow, thank you, Kat.
An amazing learning.
And it goes on.
And it goes on. I wish they all had roots, but they don't.
No, we just have to enjoy them every moment we have them, right?
Right.
That's what it's about. And we definitely, all of us who were here and were present, either watching or in physical, whether it was for one class or for all of them, we all really enjoyed everybody, every single time we were here. You know, we didn't miss a moment of supporting each other, loving each other, being present for each other. You know, we can all exit this chapter of our lives with no regrets. And not only that, but with so much joy and enlightenment that we experienced together. So it's been a wonderful conscious incarnation with all of you. And I look forward to seeing you all in my next. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week for I think next week is going to be the best show. Because everybody that comes has to give what they thought was best about the show, what they learned the most, whatever they feel in their heart they want to say, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be the most inspirational, moving show that we've ever had, and it's going to go off on a bang. So I would love to have you play for our last class. Sure.
Yep.
That would just be so neat.
And it started tonight with Kat.
Yeah.
So thank you
And
for
what?
It started tonight with you.
Yeah, it's like you already, I mean, you're welcome, you have to do it again. You have to say something else the next one, but you already got yours out of the way this time because yours was amazing.
Well, maybe next week I'll be ready not to cry.
No, I hope not. It was beautiful.
Why not cry?
Those were such joyful tears.
Daffodils wouldn't be here without some water.
Mm.
Daffodils wouldn't be here without water.
That's true.
Amazing.
It's not like they're air plants. And there's water droplets in the air, so there's no getting out of my
There you go.
retort. So
Look at the timing in that. I mean, just, that's the connection between all of us. Like of all the nights for you to bring them,
Isn't that just,
it's amazing.
it just is. It's amazing, but it
you followed your intuition.
just happened the way it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of
Yeah, I'm assuming you don't need.
Are they all coming up in the yard or something like that? Or
What?
are they growing in the yard or anything?
No, I went to, and here's the other serendipitous thing. I was thinking, how am I going to afford to get daffodils for whoever shows up? And I went to, oh God, what's that place in Leslie?
Trader Joe's.
I went to Trader Joe's.
We're still live.
And they
Trader
were
Joe's.
like 9 blooms for $1.49.
That's
And I went, I'll take 100. I have them all over my house.
Good weather is, it could be.
Wait, come back. Okay. Here. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You skipped. Thank you.
And there's some for everyone out there, so everyone out there, go ahead and reach out and take your daffodil. Take your symbolic daffodil from Kat. And bloom where you're planted. We'll see you all next week for the final class. So thanks for being here.
Ta-da.
There's paper towels and plastic